asking me to comment on this Gunna situation. And first and foremost, I would like to say that the only ends to the streets is death or jail. It's the only outcome. There's no other outcome. You're not gonna retire. You're not gonna get a pension. You're gonna die or go to jail. So if you thinking something else happens being in the streets, you have been misinformed. You have been miseducated. You have been led astray. You have been bamboozled. There's no outcome in the streets but death or jail. Once in a while, somebody slips to the cracks and this and that, but there's no real outcome. There's nothing that comes from it. And this is a classic example. I don't know these brothers' situation. I cannot say anything about their lives and, the accusations and, that they're facing as a trial. But what I can say about this situation, there's multiple ways to look at this. Gunna could have came to a consensus with whoever. All of the people who charge, I don't know. Once again, I'm just giving you a scenario. If there's a understanding that, because these things happen, Gunna might have communicated. His lawyers might have communicated with other lawyers and say, yo, what's the best thing we can do? And they may have come up with the strategy. Thug and everybody else might have said, Gunna got the best chance to go home. Let's get him in the streets because we need finances. We need shit to go on. We need people to make sure our families is taken care of. And he got a chance to go home. We not in the same position he is. We don't have the same opportunities to go home. So we okay with you taking that, and we'll deal with that on the back end. That's the reality that could have come. And then there's the reality, because actually, what I will be honest about is his statement does make it clear that they've established this as a gang. So it's not good for anybody. Once you establish that there's a gang, it's not a good thing for them. That's not something that is a positive thing. But if they're willing to deal with that reality, if they come to a consensus, because those things happen. People go to trial. There's people are accused of things. People look at the situation and say, yo, he ain't even really got nothing to do with this. Or I don't have nothing to do with this, but he got the best chance to go home. So boom, we agree, go ahead. You do that. We're going to take this. We're going to deal with this. But like everyone says, establishing that YSL is a gang does not look good for a RICO charge. That's what they have to do. In order for a RICO charge to stick, they have to establish that it's a criminal enterprise. So one person or anybody that's closely knit to anybody who identifies YSL as a gang does not really look good for them. But people might say, I can deal with that in order to get you home, because that's something that happens all the time. So calling a person a snitch without understanding or seeing the paperwork or understanding the ramifications and understandings of their case is just wrong. That's one-on-one. If you don't see paperwork, or the person who supposedly you snitched on don't say you snitched on, you just don't call nobody a snitch. But there's new rules. The suckers create the rules.